Is it possible to eat too much fruit? Fruit, like any other food, can be overconsumed, but the average person shouldn't be too concerned about doing so because the benefits of eating fruit outweigh the negative consequences of eating too much. Furthermore, it is more common to overeat on highly processed foods than on fruit, because these foods frequently lack fiber and other satiating nutrients, are highly palatable, and are engineered to be desirable. However, it is important to recognize that fruit is a carbohydrate source, and this should be considered when planning meals and snacks. All fruits contain naturally occurring sugar, but when we eat a piece of whole fruit, the sugar does not affect us in the same way that added sugars found in processed foods and sweeteners do. This is due to the fiber and water found in whole fruit, which also slows the rate at which we absorb sugar from fruit. A cookie or a spoonful of honey, on the other hand, may have the same amount of sugar, but lack fiber and water, making them less filling. Sugar will be rapidly absorbed if there is no fiber to slow its absorption, causing blood sugar spikes shortly after consumption. Blood sugar spikes, because the release of insulin, a hormone that pulls sugar into our cells to be used or stored, causing our blood sugar to fall. Insulin spikes caused by eating simple sugars, especially in large quantities, may result in a sugar crash after our blood sugar drops. This is why, an hour or two after consuming a sugary food or beverage, we may feel hungry, shaky, and irritable. When we eat fruit, our blood sugar levels rise gradually. Our insulin will also be released gradually, reducing the likelihood of a sugar crash after eating a serving or two of fruit. Even so, it's always a good idea to pair any carbohydrate-rich food with a little protein and/or fat to slow sugar absorption and promote blood sugar stability. This is especially important if you have insulin resistance or diabetes, or if you want to lose weight. Adding a spoonful of peanut butter to a sliced apple, pairing your banana with Greek yogurt, or munching on a handful of pumpkin seeds with your grapes are all examples of this. Some fruits have more sugar than others. For example, figs, grapes, and certain tropical fruits like bananas, mango, and pineapple have slightly more sugar than others, whereas berries, citrus fruits, melons, and stone fruits have the least. This is not to say that we should all avoid higher sugar fruits, but if you are concerned about managing your blood sugar or weight, this information may be useful to consider. What about dried fruit and fruit juice? Fruit juices, unlike whole fruit, are stripped of their fiber and highly concentrated, so our bodies process them more similarly to adding sugars. Although freshly squeezed juices contain vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, they are not necessarily considered a health food. One glass of orange juice, for example, contains approximately 3 whole oranges, but it is unlikely that you would consume 3 whole oranges in one sitting. A glass of orange juice will not fill you up, because it lacks fiber, whereas eating 3 whole oranges will. Dried fruit, like fruit juices, is a more concentrated source of sugar than fresh fruit, because the water has been evaporated. Dried fruit contains fiber, but because it lacks the natural water content of fruit, it's easy to overeat without feeling full. Again, this does not necessarily imply that you should avoid dried fruit. However, for optimal glycemic control, it is important to be mindful of portion sizes and aim to pair your dried fruit with a handful of nuts, seeds, or any other protein and/or fat sources that suit your dietary needs. How much fruit should you consume? According to current federal guidelines, adults should consume 112 to 2 servings of fruit per day, which is equivalent to 112 to 2 cups of fresh fruit. Because dried fruit is more concentrated, 1 serving of dried fruit is approximately 14 cups for most varieties. Fruit juice made from 100% juice contributes to your daily fruit intake, but 1 serving is only about 12 cups. Adding fruit to a snack, Serving it as a dessert or incorporating it into meals will provide significant health benefits, while also satisfying a sweet tooth. Should anyone avoid eating fruit? Fruit is an essential part of a healthy diet, and avoiding it is not advised for the average person. Certain populations, such as those with food allergies to specific fruits, or those following a ketogenic diet for medical reasons, such as epilepsy, may need to avoid fruit or specific fruits. Individuals with type 2 diabetes may need to moderate their fruit consumption based on their blood sugar levels, but they do not need, and should not, avoid fruit entirely. Fruit's antioxidants, fiber, vitamins, and minerals can help reduce inflammation and promote insulin sensitivity. Furthermore, current diabetes nutritional guidelines encourage the consumption of fruit. Those with diabetes should choose fruits that are high in fiber, such as berries, and should be mindful of pairing fruits with protein and/or fat sources.